I want to discuss with you why people are not able to get rid of the repeated mistakes, even when they know the exact patterns too. Hello, Nimita ma'am. Welcome back again on my YouTube channel. How have you been?
I've been very well, Rajni. Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to interact with you.
Yeah, same here. I'm super excited and glad to have this lovely conversation. And even today, we are going to discuss a very beautiful topic which will help a lot of learners out there. And tell me first, how was your Diwali?
Diwali was fantastic, and
Mhm.
we have the entire family. So I'm in Bangalore, and my entire family, everyone is here.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of parties, a lot of amazing food, and
Mhm.
spending it with family is just beautiful. How about you? What did you
Yeah,
do?
same here, same here. Like this Diwali, we celebrated, but the last Diwali, we were not able to celebrate. So this Diwali, we had a lot of fun with friends and family, and a lot of friends came to my home. So they fired a lot of crackers. I didn't participate that much, but I tell them that you guys have contributed 100% in the air pollution. They were like, okay, we got only 1 day, so it's like just wanted to enjoy, and right, it was lovely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Over here in Bangalore, they had a restriction on the kind of crackers you can burn, so that was
Mm-hmm.
very limited. So I think without pollution, seeing the lights around were looking very beautiful. So people like over because they were not able to burst crackers, so they did beautiful light arrangements on their balconies, so which was amazing to see.
Yeah, that those lights itself spreads a lot of positivity and joys
I
into our
agree with
life,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's lovely. So first of all, Nimita ma'am, as we had the conversation earlier too, but a lot of people are new on my channel. They have recently joined, had recently discovered my YouTube channel. So I would love to know about yourself for my audience.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Namita. I am co-founder and chief learning officer at Sparky AI. I have been an educator for the last 15 years. I love teaching. I've taught in India, I've taught in the US. And before starting Sparky AI, I used to work for a company called Lead School, where I was heading their curriculum and created English content, which is right now catering to millions of learners across India. Sparky AI, we will of course talk more about it through this conversation. Sparky AI is a generative AI conversational English learning app, which helps in building spoken English fluency. And the best part is it provides a judgment free, stress free environment and provides various topics which are relatable, which your everyday topic on which you can have a conversation, and as you're conversing with Sparky, it will give you feedback on your grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. We'll talk more about it as we unfold the topic that we are discussing today, but it's really excited to be here and look forward to having this conversation with you, Rajni.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving this lovely introduction. And I hope this conversation and the topic we are going to discuss will definitely help people and new learners out there. I want to discuss with you why people are not able to get rid of the repeated mistakes, even when they know the exact patterns too. So this is, I guess, the major issue. Like, I have seen a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who are talking to other YouTubers. They are practicing every single day, because many other YouTubers, like famous YouTubers, first told this thing that you have to practice, you have to practice, you have to speak a lot. So many people have, picked this thing very seriously, and they have started talking to people. But now one thing which is really bothering people out there, which is like they are making the same mistakes again and again. They are not able to get rid of these mistakes. So I want you to just help people in this case.
Sure, Rajni. I think it's a very important topic, and agreed with you 100% that speaking is the first step
Hmm.
towards building that confidence, building that fluency in English, which is great that if a lot of people are doing that. But level two is making mistakes, because first
Hmm.
step is to start the conversation. Now, step two is making mistakes, and step three is correction. Ensuring that we are not repeating the mistakes, we are making new mistakes. Let's put it this way. So I think if I remember how it used to happen in school also, we used to make the same mistake, and what would the teacher do? She would every time underline, highlight
Hmm.
the mistake for us and give us that feedback to us. I
Absolutely.
think that is what is needed when we are conversing.
Hmm.
But what would happen in a classroom setting is it would become a judge, not a judgment free, but a judgmental space,
Environment.
environment, sorry, yes.
Hmm.
And it would be filled with judgment, it would create stress, because that is how school used to end up being for us. So what is important is that while we are having that conversation, how do we get a real time feedback? Because when we are speaking, right now I'm speaking to you, I may be making a mistake, but self monitoring requires deep understanding of language. But as a beginner, I don't have deep understanding of language. And
Hmm.
so when I'm talking, which may be the case for most of your viewers because they're all beginners, they are unable to monitor their own speaking. And so they don't know that if they have made a mistake. So
Hmm.
somebody needs to tell them. So feedback is extremely important to break this pattern. If you don't receive feedback, and not after you have spoken, but for example, you and I are talking. So one of the most common mistakes that people make are didn't knew, didn't told, didn't got. Very common mistake. But the minute you say, for example, you and I are talking and I tell you, oh, I didn't knew that we are meeting today. And you immediately tell me that, Namita, did you mean to say I didn't know that we are meeting today? With didn't, we do not use past tense, but we use the base form of the verb. And you give
Hmm.
me another example like didn't get. And if you repeatedly tell me, like I may make the same mistake again, but if you again tell me, I will eventually break out of the pattern,
Hmm.
because I'll realize, okay, I'm repeatedly receiving feedback on this one common mistake. That means I need to become aware of it. So, step one is to get real time feedback, and repeated feedback on a mistake helps us break out of the pattern. And that is most important. And that's what is, I think, missing a lot of times when we are talking.
Hmm.
The other person, I don't know who the other person is. Like if you're talking to a native English speaker or
Hmm.
someone who's equally knowledgeable,
Hmm.
then you can receive feedback. But when two friends are talking, they don't necessarily give each other that kind of feedback. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Absolutely. I can totally even resonate with it. And if we particularly talk about two friends, then already they have that kind of mindset that if I'll speak, I'll make a mistake and this person will judge. So if they mutually, said that, okay, we will speak, but we will not judge or laugh at each other, then they start speaking, but they are not able to get rid of those mistakes. In the same
Right.
manner, like when I started my journey of learning English in 2022 itself, it's been only 2 years. At that time I took it very seriously that I should start with tutors first, and I joined certain applications where tutors really gave me the feedback, and I took the feedback very seriously, in which one was that record myself and analyze it properly, and then I should focus on the patterns where I am making mistakes, like major mistakes, so that I am able to resonate it with it totally. And I think I think everyone, especially when we focus on the beginners, they need some kind of constructive feedback so they can just get rid of these mistakes over time.
Completely agree with you. And here I would like to talk about Sparky. Like what Sparky does is what you mentioned about constructive feedback is so important, because the word constructive is very important here.
Hmm.
Because if I compare it again with the tutor or with the teacher, what happens is the feedback that we receive, it creates a lot of stress, a lot of fear that I cannot make this mistake again. But as a beginner, we will make those mistakes. So we need
Absolutely.
someone to keep encouraging us, keep motivating us while
Hmm.
giving us feedback. So,
Hmm.
and I think that is exactly what Sparky does. So what happens is, say, for example, if I were to tell Sparky that, oh, I didn't knew that I had exam today, for example, I'm just sharing something with Sparky.
Hmm.
And what Sparky would say is that, oh, I think you meant to say, I didn't know, it will
Hmm.
give me feedback that it didn't, you need to use, this is the correct form of the verb is know.
Hmm.
And it will take the conversation forward. It will not get hung up on that mistake or just leave you with that mistake. It will
Hmm.
be like, okay, moving forward. So what it does is it has given you feedback without breaking the flow of the conversation. So
Hmm.
that is something which is very important for beginners because
Hmm.
they're receiving feedback with encouragement and without hindrance in continuing the conversation. Because end of the day, key
Hmm.
thing is to continue the conversation because the more you talk, the better you will get at it. And
Hmm.
I think why don't we see a short demo to actually see how Sparky gives feedback, how Sparky guides its learners through the conversation, and there are different features that we have put in Sparky specifically to guide beginners to help them break this pattern of making
Pattern.
mistakes.
Hmm. Sure, sure. Amazing to see the non judgmental environment because, again, I would say that I am able to resonate with it. When a tutor gives a feedback in first or second session to you, in the next third or fourth session, you become more conscious, and that, affects your fluency, which happened with me. Like, I was conscious to not make the same mistake because the tutor will judge me or they will focus on the mistake if I make the same mistake again. That hindered my fluency. So somewhere the
Okay.
fear again occurs in our mind. Okay, so I think in Sparky this is the best thing. Like, even if you made the mistake in the first conversation, second, third, fourth, still you can make and you will get corrected. And repeated feedback will definitely help your subconscious mind automatically, effortlessly to get rid of this mistake without any fear, without hindering your fluency, your progress. So this is, I guess, remarkable feature that everyone should use it properly.
I agree with you. And I think also, like you and I were discussing earlier in the conversation, that when you're talking to a friend and you come
Hmm.
to this mutual agreement that I'll not correct you or laugh at you,
Hmm.
you don't correct me or laugh at me. I
Hmm.
think with Sparky, because Sparky is not a tutor, but it's a
Hmm.
buddy. But it's a
Hmm.
knowledgeable, intelligent, native English speaking buddy that you have. So,
Hmm.
so when you are talking to someone who is one level or multiple levels ahead of you, but they are adapting to your level. So, for example, as
Hmm.
a beginner, why do I not want to talk to a native speaker? Because I feel that their English level is going to be really high and they're going to judge me. But what
Hmm.
if somebody is able to have a conversation with you at your level, as per your,
Hmm.
age appropriate, your regional relevance, like, it's culturally appropriate, it's age appropriate
Hmm.
conversation based on your topic of interest, is able
Hmm.
to talk to you and is not using very big words, but is using words that you are comfortable with.
Hmm.
However, is ensuring that they are not making any grammar mistakes or their sentence formations are absolutely correct. It also is a way of showing, because role modeling is also very important. If you
Yeah.
don't have the right role model, then also it comes in the way of you breaking the pattern. So I'll
Hmm.
give you my example. Like the school that I studied in, and the kind of managers and the peers I had in my workspace.
Hmm.
One thing was there that we always spoke very well in English. Like that was a prerequisite because English is very important nowadays for career and
Hmm.
career growth and career
Hmm.
development. And especially if I'm creating an English curriculum and I'm studying in an English medium school, the primary focus was on how do we ensure that English doesn't become a hindrance in learning other subjects or at work, growing in my career. So, because having that kind of knowledgeable people around you, a really good peer group around you who would constantly correct you while encouraging you, imagine having that in the
Hmm.
form of something which is accessible and available to you 24/7. Because I'll be honest, Sparky kind of apps were not available to me when I started. I'm really old. So
Hmm.
so those I did not have access to it. And I come
Hmm.
from a small town, so a lot of my reliance was on my teachers. But I
Hmm.
wish I had a buddy who could help me, who could guide me.
Mm-hmm.
and was available to me 24/7. And that is what Sparky, as I grew up, that is what I still feel, that English is still such a big need, that everybody, because for better employment opportunities, for better
Mm-hmm.
career opportunities, for better colleges, in every aspect you need English.
Mm-hmm.
Because in India, we don't have good higher education institutes in regional languages. They're all in English. All your
Mm-hmm.
course books, all your research papers, every material is in English. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't escape from it. So might as
Mm-hmm.
well find someone who can help you become a better speaker, better orator, better English language communicator, basically. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that aspiration is how what we started Sparky AI. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
Sparky AI is extremely affordable as well. So
Mm, the best
if you
part.
see that, yeah, because everybody asks us that, with generative AI, how are you able to provide something so affordable?
Mm-hmm.
That's a design of it, of course. It was a very conscious design choice, that how do we reach out to more and more people who need it
Mm-hmm.
without it burning a hole in their pocket.
Yeah.
Because getting one-on-one tutoring, a lot of people don't have access to good tutors,
Mm-hmm.
because Rajni, you're not there everywhere. That's why
Yeah.
you're on YouTube also
Yeah.
for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have access. So providing them access which is affordable was very important to us. So
Yeah.
for example, a package of 3 months is around 475 rupees for you,
Mm.
and you
Three
have
months.
unlimited access for
Mm.
3 months. And for 6 months, it's even cheaper. For 6 months, it's 599. It's like almost 100 rupees
Yeah,
um,
for a month.
per month, which is extremely
Hmm.
affordable. I don't think so. You can
Yeah.
find a tutor who's native English speaker giving you real-time feedback, and
Mm-hmm.
you can access it as many times as you want for how long, however long you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's the vision with which we started Sparky AI, and I hope your viewers can benefit from it.
Definitely, and a lot of my students also have started learning from Sparky, because whenever I talk to them, whenever I see like they are at a beginner level and they need somebody to practice with and correct them, then I suggest them to use Sparky, and Sparky somewhere is helping them a lot, and they appreciate also. One more thing, as you mentioned, that you got the environment, like you got the friends around you who corrected you. And
Yes,
why they were able to correct you, because they also had the command over the language and they knew the right pronunciation, that's why. But today I got a lot of emails that first they don't have the environment, then who will going to give you the feedback them, right? So, and
exactly.
if they have like the environment we talk about, exactly the environment they have, which has a lot of mispronounced word they are using and incorrect patterns they are using. So from there our subconscious mind is picking all the error unconsciously, right? And we are repeating
Right,
because of the environment
right,
also, influence of the environment also, somewhere we are habitual of making the same mistakes.
right,
Again, one more thing is there, like when it comes to talk about the simple things and focus, then maybe sometimes people are able to speak. Like for example, once I asked one of my students to explain about her daughter. Okay, so she was able. I told already to tell her about her daily routine, and you have to use simple present tense only. Okay, so she was able to use SES consciously, that when she comes, when she wakes up, when where she goes, what she likes. But in between, a few days back, we were talking, just having just random conversation. There, she was talking about her reading habits and how she reads before going to bed. So at that time, she has to mention like how she analyzes, how she replaces the words. So when it comes to analyze and replace these verbs, she made mistakes. Like she said, she analyze properly, she replaced the words. Now there is a problem. So when it comes to you, the simple easy words, go, come, eat, sleep, wake up, it's easier to use SES with those words, right? When it comes to use a little higher words, we start making the same mistake, same pattern, because we are habitual of saying this. So that's how I
right,
realized. Then I told her to practice with each different verb, so you can become habitual of using those patterns with the other verbs too. So there I
right,
think
right.
Sparky can definitely help. Hmm.
Absolutely, completely agree with you, because the kind of conversations that we have, they are not scripted.
Yeah.
Like you and I are talking, it's not a scripted
Hmm.
conversation, it's a natural conversation. And that is the best way of building fluency. Because imagine, let's talk about your favorite movie.
Hmm.
And the conversation just starts flowing, and we may start with movie, but we may go in some other
Hmm.
direction
Hmm.
completely. And that's how natural conversations are supposed to be. And
Hmm.
what Sparky does is, like, I have also noticed that a lot of language learners, even if they are beginners, they know a lot
Hmm.
of words, um,
Hmm.
but they don't know how to string them together to make a sentence.
Hmm.
And what happens is, what Sparky does is, it really focuses on helping you use your words.
Hmm.
Even if you are speaking, say, for example, English,
Hmm.
Hindi English mix,
Yeah.
what it will do is, it will try to make a sense of whatever you said in English, and it will have, create a path of a conversation for you.
Oh.
But what it is constantly trying to guide you or tell you by role modeling is
Mm-hmm.
that how you use what kind of words you can use, how you
Hmm.
can use them, because that's also very important. And like you said, because you were there, Rajni, to help that
Hmm.
student
Hmm.
role model the right thing. Same is the case with Sparky, that it can role model the right kind of sentence structures or right way of saying things.
Hmm.
And I think that role modeling is very, very important. And that's where Sparky can play a very good role.
Yes, yes. Role modeling plays a vital role when it comes to learn any language, and especially English, because it is a global language and it opens a lot of job opportunities and helps you elevate your career. So I must recommend every beginner, even intermediates who are not even aware that they are making mistakes, but they are continuously speaking, they can also check their level. Sorry, and they can also have the conversation with this AI Sparky. There they can check, and if they are struggling with any kind of particular pattern, that would be the great help if they use the Sparky. So I hope this application will help you a lot. And thank you so much, Nimita ma'am, for showing up and for sharing everything about the mistakes people are unknowingly making and how they can actually get rid of this by using the Sparky.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Rajni. And I really hope people benefit from Sparky. Would love to read some comments on the video, and happy to answer any questions that may come up. There was just one thing I wanted to add, Rajni. You had mentioned about the environment, and while you were talking about your student, that
Hmm.
they read. I think apart from Sparky AI, like, see, Sparky AI is one very good aspect which you can include as part of your English language learning journey, as part of your routine.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that really helped, at least me, because I didn't have access to my friends 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
but something that my father really ensured that we all did as kids. One was to
Mm-hmm.
read English newspaper. Second was to listen to English news. What it did was, English newspaper really helps in building knowledge in English. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about commanding English language, but it is ability to hold a conversation or talk about different topics in English. So newspaper really helped with that, and English news really helped with the right pronunciation. So our, and
Hmm.
that too, not some fancy news anchors. Our DD Doordarshan news anchors
Mm-hmm.
are their pronunciation, their intonation is impeccable. So I would highly recommend anyone who wants to build their knowledge in English,
Mm-hmm.
not just building fluency, but how do you become intelligent in English? Let me put it this way.
Hmm.
Because I hear from a lot of learners who say that, talk to me in my local language and you will know that I know so many things, because they've acquired a lot of language using
Mm-hmm.
a lot of knowledge using that language. So same is the
Mm-hmm.
case with English. Like, you can don't just think about it like a vehicle to get a better college or better job, but also think about how you can use it to get more knowledge, more information, become
Hmm.
intelligent in that language, because then it will motivate you more
Hmm.
to learn that language.
Hmm. When you have the knowledge on different topics, then you can speak at length. That is again a problem, that people are not speak at length. That also I
Yes.
have come across. At the same time, with knowledge, your sentence structure gets improved. when you read a lot. Yeah. So these are the two benefits of reading. So, yes, thank you so much for the last piece of advice, which will definitely help people, my audience. And guys, everybody, just like the video, share with your friends who are learning the language and who are facing the same kind of issue. And do let us know in the comment box also if you are using Sparky. And I would highly recommend you that it is non-judgmental environment where you can get the constructive feedback. At the same time, it will just speak to you according to your own level. So this, you should always take benefit of this, and do let us know in the comment box. And thank you so
Great.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajni. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.